motherfuckers. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck you. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck you.
Well, howdy, Schlockaholics. Welcome to impromptu Untitled pickup session. This is something that we've done in the past. There was a time where we considered separating our pickups from the Schlock Talk episodes altogether. In general, I like keeping them in those, but from time to time, we're going to run into occasions where I've just got too much stuff in to show in one of those episodes, and I don't really want to break it up to show it across multiple episodes in case I forget to show something off. So occasionally we're gonna dump one of these on you where we've got just a bunch of pickups, and that's all the episode is pickups. This should go pretty quick. I've got a little stack here, and then another stack in a box, and we're just gonna go through it. We got 4 featured trailers that we're gonna be showcasing for you guys tonight, and it should be a good time. Sipping on some Pacifico, La Cerveza del Pacifico. I don't speak Spanish, but I really like this beer a lot. I think I've mentioned it in previous episodes. It's kind of my go-to above even Modelo and, what the hell's the other one? I haven't drank it in so long that I've forgotten. Corona. I don't know how I forgot that given the last few years, but there it is. You guys saw it here first. Totally forgot the pandemic or the beer even existed for a minute right there, which is a good thing. That's the benefits of living in your own little world, fucking with B movies and hanging out with your friends. So our first stack here is kind of stuff that's not really horror or schlock related. It's stuff that, a couple of the items kind of bleed into that territory, but, well, you'll get the idea as we go through it here. So our first item, picked this up just last night, is Northern Exposure, the complete series. Now, this is a show that I had not seen since I was a youngman, a wee lad, probably about, 8 or 9 years old. So a lot of the stuff in it was just over my head, or I just didn't get it. But I liked the whole vibe of it at the time. And revisiting it now as an adult with my kid over the last day or two has really been a treat, man. It's a quality series. I don't know how it shapes up throughout all of the seasons, but there's 6 of them in the set here, with various special features, I think some deleted scenes and whatnot. So I'm very much looking forward to plowing through all 110 episodes, I believe it is. I think we've taken down about 10 of them so far. So just good times. If you ever liked like slice of life stuff, or you're a fan of Twin Peaks and you can imagine that show being fun without the murder and twisted shit bubbling just under the surface, that's pretty much what you get with Northern Exposure. Just a dude moving to a small town in Alaska to be their resident physician, and kind of adjusting to life in a small town after coming from New York City, and, getting to know and befriend all of the eccentric characters that live in said town. It's just good times. You would think that it would be just sort of boring workplace stuff, but they do like dream sequences in certain episodes that spice it up and make it a little bit more adventurous. And I can't fucking recommend Northern Exposure enough. Get out there and check it out. You can get the complete series right there at Walmart for $40 currently. I think it was like $65 for a long time, which is why I held off on it for so long. Super glad that I finally grabbed it. Okay. Anyway, after that, we got a copy of The Blind Swordsman, Zatoichi. What do you call them? Jigadeki films, I think they call them in Japan. Basically just sword slinging flicks are something that's always been a huge passion of mine. Really love the Lone Wolf and Cub movies, Lady Snowblood, all the Kurosawa stuff. And of course, Zatoichi, who's really the main man of the genre. Tons of movies based on this character. And all of them pretty much played by the dude who played Zatoichi for years. But eventually this guy, beat Takeshi, I think is his name, or Takeshi Kitano. He sort of took over the reins and became the new Zatoichi, at least for this film. I've never seen it. I've heard that it's okay. I've heard that there's some CGI blood in there, and I think I actually did play the trailer for it on one of these shows at some point. But now, thanks to Septum Sin, I have a copy of it of my own, so I can add it to the collection and finally say that I own every single Zatoichi movie ever produced. It's also a double feature. It comes with this film, Sonatine, starring Beat Takeshi, and I'm looking forward to checking that out as well. It's like a Quentin Tarantino's, Japanese classics collection or something like that. So somehow he has praise for that movie, I'm guessing, so they marketed it that way. But yeah, pretty cool. I guess it's the first time on DVD for that film, so I'll be checking both these out in the near future. And hopefully it'll inspire me to jump back into my Zatoichi box set and finally revisit all of the films. I think the last time I was fucking with it, I only made it like 8 films in, and there's something like 26 of them, so a lot more to go, but it'll be a treat to get through them. And then he also sent me, pretty much all of this stuff is from Septum Sin, with the exception of a couple of items. But he also sent me The Thing with Two Heads. I've never seen this film, but it sounds like a goofy, buddy, like Odd Couple road comedy kind of a thing with a little bit of a science fiction twist, and that this dude, needs a body transplant, only his head is alive or something like that. So they transplant his head onto this death row inmate, and, hijinks ensues, I guess. Just looks like a good time. It's one that I've always been aware of by title alone, so I figured, what the fuck? Might as well grab it and give it a look. After that, he sent me Take the Money and Run, Woody Allen flick. I've never watched a ton of Woody Allen, especially not as an adult. Most of the stuff I did see, I was a kid, so I definitely didn't get a lot of it. But I'm looking forward to exposing myself to more of it. I always hear good things about the guy's movies, especially a lot of his earlier movies. And this is one that actually was specifically name dropped in an episode of Northern Exposure that I was watching just last night. So especially curious to check it out. It's always cool when Destiny kind of lines up that way. I knew really nothing about the movie, and then I'm watching Northern Exposure, and one of my favorite characters on the show pretty much recommends it as one of his best. So good things to come from that, I hope. And then finally in the stack, we got King Kong, the 3-disc or 2-disc special edition of the Peter Jackson King Kong. I have all of the Godzilla movies that have been put out, with the exception of obviously -1 or whatever, the new one that just came out, because it's not out on home video. But I have every single other Godzilla movie that's ever came out. And I don't have all the Kong movies. The only ones that I have is Kong Skull Island and Godzilla versus King Kong, both versions, like the old school one and the new school one. But I still need like the original King Kong, the ones that they did in the 70s or whatever, and whatever other, whatever other versions of it are out there. But this is a good start. I figured, why not? He was throwing it in for free. All this stuff was pretty much free. He just did it because he's trying to thin out his collection, and he likes to know that the stuff goes to a good home. And I assure you, my friend, that's gone to a good home indeed. So that kind of does it on the non-schlock specific stuff. The rest of our selections here from the box are all going to be horror or schlock related. And the first of those selections is going to be Octoman, or Octoman. This came from our buddy Dustin of the Crypt of Horrors. It is the 40th anniversary retro media edition. So as far as I know, this should be like the cleanest edition of this movie on DVD that you can find. We're going to go ahead and run that trailer for you real quick, and then I guess we'll talk a little bit more about the film.
A mutation of sorts that have all the characteristics of a human cell.
It's worse than I expected.
The contamination level?
It keeps rising.
Even reveals some shift in the evolutionary process that can create something half man, half sea creature.
I don't know about you guys, but that looks fucking delightful. And the way it's described on the back, is basically that it was total B-movie madness when they were making this shit. They shot it with all types of different cameras and film stock, so it's very inconsistent, the like look of the film through the whole thing. And that's always neat to see. It just is a great example of people, you know, getting their movie made no matter what corners they have to cut, no matter, you know, what methods they have to employ to get it done no matter what. Filming on random film stock with different cameras, probably different special effects artists throughout it. It does look like Rick Baker created the rubber suit for the movie, and that's pretty dope as well. And it also comes with a bonus feature. So, and that is The Cremators, which is by the same dude that did this movie. I guess it's Harry Essex is his name, that did Octoman. So looking forward to this. This is one that I actually had on hold for me for probably about a year. And I kept forgetting that I had told Dustin that I would buy it, but he was well enough to hold on to it for me. He also sent it to me along with this Full Moon Features product catalog from 2012 and 2013. It came with some various ads, you know, real nice Full Moon Features sticker, and a pretty sick Subspecies 4 sticker. So that's dope. We're not going to flip through the whole thing, but it's just basically, I imagine it's the type of thing they would have handed out at like conventions or road shows or something like that. Just kind of detailed a bunch of their movies. I was hoping that there would be like a bonus poster in here. And I haven't flipped through the whole thing yet, but either way, it's always cool to have like these promotional materials for a studio that you enjoy. Anybody that ever finds any of these other Full Moon product catalogs and wants to sell them to me for a reasonable price, I'll go ahead and buy them. I think I paid Dustin $20 for this one. So, I mean, that's pretty much the price that I'm willing to pay for them. So if you got ones lying around that you want to get rid of, hit me up. I'll take them off your hands. After that, we've got some Joel Wynkoop collection action. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save those for a minute. We'll get into those in a minute. The next thing that he sent is this Freak Show Cinema 12 horror film collection. It's got some interesting sounding stuff on there. You've got Tales of the Dead, Grim Stories of Curses, Horror, and Gore. That sounds pretty fun. It's got Zombie Genocide, Legion of the Damned, The Curse of the Blanchard Hill, Idol of Evil, Hell is Forever, Below Ground, Demon Holocaust, Order of One, Kung Fu Killing Spree. That immediately grabs my attention for obvious reasons. Cold Creepy Feeling, Paranormal Exorcism, Indemnity, Rage of a Jealous Vampire, Glitter Goddess, Queen of the Sunset Strip, Dark Measures, Gang Warfare, By the Devil's Hand, The 666 Killer, and Tuck Bushman and the Legend of Piddledown Dale. That is maybe one of the best movie titles I've ever read out loud. I'm not sure what's going on with these. These titles are very odd. All of the movies are from like the 90s and the early to mid 2000s, and I've never heard of a single fucking one of them. I'm not sure if they're clip shows or if they're actual films. They do sound like they might be actual films. Looking at the front here, it looks like they just gave them like fun little titles in front of some of them. Like Demon Holocaust is just listed as Demon Holocaust on the front, but on the back it says Below Ground, Demon Holocaust. So I don't know what they're playing at with that. It's one of those Mill Creek titles, so they very well could all be changed on the back for like legal reasons. I don't understand any of it, but it'll be interesting jumping into that and seeing what gems it might hold within. Now that I'm looking at the way the titles are presented on the front, and it's pretty clear they just added shit to them on the back, there is a couple like Demon Holocaust that might sound kind of familiar. And Kung Fu Killing Spree actually might sound kind of familiar, but I could very well and likely am, wrong on that. So he also sent me Birdemic Shock and Terror. This is one that I've been meaning to add to the collection for quite some time. It's pretty notorious for being a fucking terrible movie. It's kind of right up there with The Room and like Troll 2, of movies that constantly get thrown out as like the worst movies ever made. And Birdemic, the first one, it seems like it earns its spot in there. The guy didn't think he was making a terrible movie, I don't think, when he did it. And I'm not convinced that he is, aware of that still, because he just cranked out like 2 more of them, and right here's Birdemic 2. I do feel like I've heard people say Birdemic 3, he kind of realized that, oh shit, people like these because they're bad. so he leaned into it a little bit. And that's a shame. It takes away some of the sort of innocence and genuineness of the first one, I would imagine. And I don't know if that's the case here. It doesn't look like it's a better movie, but we'll see. Either way, I'm glad to have them at some point. I'll try to get a hold of that third one. Then again, I did just forget that the pandemic and the Corona beer brand existed for a couple of minutes there in this episode. So it's possible I've totally imagined Birdemic 3, but I'm fairly certain it's a thing. So yeah. After that, he also sent me a Blu-ray copy of one of my favorite sci-fi horror flicks of all time, and that is Tobe Hooper's Life Force. This was a much needed upgrade for me. I've only had Life Force on VHS for years, and it is just a delightful film. Naked space vampires fucking with Steve Railsback. Effects and set design, I think, by the guy that did like the the Star Trek motion picture, so it looks real good too. It's just a good time. We're going to run that trailer for you guys right now so you can get a little taste of that, and then we'll jump back into the rest of the box here.
They watched. They waited. Now their time has come. Out of the depths of space, the ultimate terror. Moving, searching, destroying. From body to body, from life to life, from man to woman, changing, growing, burning for our life force. From the director of Poltergeist, from the special effects creator of Star Trek, the motion picture, Life Force. In the blink of an eye, the terror begins.
If you've not seen it, you should add it to your watch list today because it's good times. Life Force is, my origin with that is kind of weird. I never rented it at the video store because I don't know, I was more of a horror kid. I liked science fiction and stuff, but it had to be like obviously sci-fi horror for me to immediately jump on it. So I would see the VHS cover for Life Force, but it's just kind of nondescript. It's like that oval shaped it's like that weird circular shaped thing hovering above the planet with the title logo or whatever. So it's real nondescript. You look at it and you just assume it's some random sci-fi movie. So I passed on it for years, and then eventually when our video store liquidated their VHS stock, I grabbed the copy of it just out of curiosity, and I believe it was like in the ride home with my parents where I flipped it over and looked at the back, and it said that it was directed by Tobe Hooper, and I was like, holy shit, what have I been doing this whole time? Just passing on this thing. So it was the first movie out of that batch of VHS that I watched and instantly fell in love with it. I don't know what it is about Steve Railsback either. I've just always found the guy just enjoyable to watch, from this to Escape 2000 to, the X-Files episode that he did. There's just, every time that I see Steve Railsback pop up in something, it fills me with joy. I like his face, I guess. Next up, he sent a creature feature, I'm assuming. It's called Aberration. Don't know much about this. It's looks like it's about some type of fucking evil lizard in the forest or something. Looks like it's got some gruesome effects in there. Looks like it was directed by Tim Boxall. Don't know that I'm familiar with that dude, but random, like straight to video creature features are always a safe bet. They're either going to be so bad that they're fun to like pick apart, or they're going to be surprisingly charming. It's very, very seldom that they fall into the middle ground where they're just kind of whatever. I feel like most of them, they either make me laugh or they get me stoked, or a combination of both. So looking forward to that. Then again, I haven't watched enough of those Wild Eye creature features, though. I keep hearing that a lot of those are real fucking bad, even on my standards. So I don't know. Time will tell. I'm sure Cody and Brandon will make me watch several of those in the future on this show. Speaking of Cody, and dudes that have been on this show. We got a couple of selections here from the Joel Wynkoop collection, the Joel Wynkoop Presents collection. And the first one is Dirty Cop, No Donut, a film that Cody has praised numerous times on this show. I believe we've even featured the trailer for it at some point, and that's the only reason it's not going to be one of our featured trailers tonight. But it just looks like a good time. I'm not sure if it was Joel who directed this or Tim Ritter. I don't really know much about the movie, but I'm super glad to have it, and I'm hoping at some point I can get the sequel, or the second part of it, to go along with this first one. I imagine Cody will submit this as one of his selections in the near future, because again, he enjoyed it pretty thoroughly. So, stay tuned for that. It'll probably pop up at some point. But now that I've got this, Lost Faith, and our next film, I've got 3, movies from this Joel Wynkoop Presents collection. I feel obligated to just collect the rest of them, right? Like, it's kind of silly to have 3 of them when there's probably only like 10 of them or something. So I might as well just go out and collect the rest of them. Looks like we got a couple of comments here. We'll check those out real quick. Oh man, I know the dude that runs Wild Eye. I mean, that's it's not a bad dude to know, I would imagine. I've seen stuff from Wild Eye that I enjoyed. I just definitely from credible sources know that some of those creature features are like, 80 minutes of bullshit and like 5 minutes of the fucking creature. So that's kind of discouraging, especially because some of the titles and cover arts look so rad, but I'm willing to try anything at least twice. So I imagine I'll watch all those someday. And like I said, Cody and Brandon, I'm sure we'll get that one in here at some point. And then he says he has that one on tape. I still need to see it. I'm assuming you're referring to Aberration as well. And if you end up watching it before me, man, let me know how it is. It's got me intrigued. After that, we have another one from the Joel Wynkoop Presents collection, and that is Twisted Illusions. This one I'm pretty sure is 100% directed by Tim Ritter and features Joel Wynkoop once again. I forget what segment it was for, probably a schlock talk, but I praised the fuck out of Truth or Dare. I absolutely loved the movie. It became instantly one of my favorite, micro budget B movie classics. And I had heard from Cody, I believe it was at the time, that the original short that inspired that anthology or that movie, or however you want to describe it, it's a weird one, Truth or Dare. The original short was included in this movie, Twisted Illusions. And obviously I want to collect a bunch more Tim Ritter stuff. I need as much of it as I can get my hands on. So it's cool to have this in the collection, but especially stoked to have it because of that original Truth or Dare short being included. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and check it out. It does have a note from Tim Ritter on the back. It says Twisted Illusion is a horror film that combines the talents of Joel D. Wynkoop, Al Nicolosi, and myself. That deals with 7 different short stories, each presenting a problem, situation, or device that goes out of control beyond reality as we know it and into twisted illusions. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but, intriguing stuff. Let's check out the trailer and see how we feel about it.
It's just a long, dumb story.
Hey, I got an idea.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's play Truth or Dare.
Huh?
Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare? I dare you to poke your eye out with these pliers right here, okay? Rip it out. No, I just... Oh! No! Oh, my God!
that just looks like quality stuff, you know? Everything about the vibe of that trailer just made me want to like strip to my undies, make a big old bowl of popcorn, and just watch low budget movies all day long. And I think that that's a quality that's kind of present in all of Tim's movies that I've seen so far. They just make you want more of that kind of flavor, you know, that low budget, straight to video, shot on video kind of vibe. And the music in that is something I wouldn't mind having isolated so I can make it a ringtone or something. He also sent this little kitty cat's over here getting into my can bag. He also sent Twisted Illusions 2, the SRS release of it, also directed by Tim Ritter. So I've got, you know, double dose of that shit to check out when I finally sit down to do it. I'm trying to think of all the Tim Ritter movies that I have, and that's probably not the best thing to try to do like right in the middle of a stream, but I feel like I've got like 6 of them at this point. So I really need to get on to the old IMDb there and confirm exactly how many feature films the dude has out so that I can really set about seriously making the effort to collect all of them that are available. Because I really like the guy's style. I don't know. And he works really well with Joel Wynkoop, also a dude whose style I enjoy quite a bit, and a dude whose movies that I need to collect. I think he's got a lot more of them than Tim Ritter, though. So that's a little bit more of a task. Our final film is a special one. Very special. It's historic in a lot of ways. Some of them good, some of them bad. And that film is Todd Browning's Freaks. This is one that I've been meaning to get my own copy of for quite some time. I think the thing that it's most famous for is using actual circus freaks as the freaks in the movie. Whether they were treated kindly or not is up for debate. Probably not, given that it was the 1930s, so that's a bit of a bummer. Another thing that it's famous for is having one of the most harrowing, just bone-chilling climaxes in horror history. And let me tell you, does that whole climactic sequence of Freaks still hold up today? Because it's real. You know, it's essentially a real thing. I imagine there was a lot of frustration and anger that those differently abled people were taking out on the normies in that movie when they finally got the chance, and it plays on the screen very well. The movie's got a strange vibe to it because it's like, you know, sort of, it's cute at times and adorable, and then at times it kind of like has that nostalgic feeling like a lot of old movies from that time period have, and then at other times it's grotesque and dark and kind of twisted. It's everything you kind of want out of that type of a movie. And honestly, I think in terms of being like, in terms of realism and just being shocking as fuck, I think Freaks probably has to be the most intense horror movie of that era, possibly, because nothing else quite packs that punch, man. I mean, every other horror film from the era, you know that it's like makeup and stuff, and that the people didn't really want to kill their co-stars. But I think in Freaks, there's that added level of like realism and danger that make the movie something special. And I'm looking forward to giving it a revisit. I don't think I've seen Freaks as a whole in about 10 years, maybe. So I'm well overdue for a revisit of this classic. Let me know in the comments while we play this little, I don't even know if it's really a trailer. It might be like a fan-made clip that they put online for it, but it captures the spirit of the movie pretty well. I'd be interested in hearing any of your guys' opinions on Freaks, or if you have any memories of watching it or anything like that. So cheers, let me know, and let's check out this clip.
We didn't lie to you, folks. We told you we had living, breathing monstrosities. You laughed at them, shuddered at them, and yet, but for the accident of birth, you might be even as they are. They did not ask to be brought into the world, but into the world they came.
She's the most beautiful big woman I have ever seen. Why, Hans, how you talk. I should be jealous pretty soon. Ah, don't be silly.
You must come to see me sometime, and we'll have a little wine together. Frida, something's wrong. What is it?
Well, that Cleopatra woman, my Hans. Oh, I cannot tell it. You think because she's so beautiful and I'm just a man, Hans. To me, you're a man. But to her, you're only something to laugh at.
You spoil everything if he hears you.
Then it's not for Hans you care. It's the money. He has told you of the fortune he has inherited.
Her fortune. Can you beat that? Her fortune. And I have him like that.
Let them laugh. They're swine. I love her. They can't hurt me. But they hurt me.
They're going to make you one of them. My peacock.
Let her try doing anything to one of us.
Their code is a law unto themselves. Offend one, and you offend them all.
I'm pretty sure that dude really hauled off and belted that LP right in the face. Either that or that was one of the best like staged punches I've ever seen. Either way, viewer discretion is advised. Todd Browning's Freaks is definitely something that every horror fan should see at least once, in my opinion. It's right up there with like the early Universal stuff or just any of that shit, you know, from that era. The real classic stuff that I think, honestly, the only reason Freaks doesn't get mentioned more as like a monumental horror film of the time is because people's, you know, sensibilities when it comes to exploiting differently abled folks have changed for the better, you know. But I think Freaks still has a lot of artistic merit, and in terms of just being an odd, surreal, weird piece of horror history, it's something that everybody should give a look to. So get out there and check it out. It's probably on like YouTube in full or something, or available on Tubi. I'm sure it's streaming in several places. But that's all we really got tonight. We're gonna, you know, highlight some comments here. Apparently, Corey has Dirty Cop No Donut on tape, which is pretty dope. We might have to hit you up one of these days if we get around to watching it for Schlock Talk, so you can come on and share your thoughts on it, man. And we got old Cody himself popping in. Dirty Cop No Donut fan number 1 right there, saying, "Hey, handsome, you ain't too bad yourself there, bub." Missy, buddy, looking forward to talking to you this Wednesday. And that's it, man. That's all we got. Decent little haul. It's been a while since I picked up any movies. For the most part, the last like maybe 6, even 8 months, I haven't really grabbed films. And even before that, it was real light. It was like 1 or 2 at a time. This is the biggest haul that I've made all year long. And it was a pleasure to come on here and share it with you guys in a way that avoids it taking up too much time on this coming Wednesday's Schlock Talk. I should have some other picks from my buddy old Andrew Warlick, fellow Gorgonian right there. He's sending me a few films that I picked up, kind of help him out with bills during the holiday season. I'm sorry I couldn't buy more stuff, bud. I'm a little strapped myself, but yeah, we've got some solid stuff coming from him. So you guys will be seeing that this coming Wednesday. Again, remember, if you have any full moon product catalogs that you want to sell, hit me up. I will purchase them happily, and they will go to a good home. And that's it, guys. That's been another episode, or just a episode of Untitled Pickup Segment. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Cheers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here real soon.
Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck you. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Fuck you.